And we're live. Welcome, everyone. This is the second episode of AA Ringside Podcast. My name is Albert.
And my name is Abraham.
And we just want to jump right straight into it. We had a great first episode. We loved doing it. We were getting a great amount of response. And how'd you feel about the first episode? If we could just quickly just do a little recap.
Well, I think the first episode is kind of just like who we are, what we do, what we like, and we're going to get straight into this next episode with a lot of energy and a lot of great topics with covering the Royal Rumble, which we're a little late on, but better late than never.
It's okay.
And the Elimination Chamber and a few interesting things that have been going on in the wrestling war that I think are very interesting.
Alrighty. So let's just jump straight to it. So the Royal Rumble and our overall thought and why we're still talking about it even till now. What do you think of the Royal Rumble?
To me, I think the Royal Rumble was like A1. Like it was so, I mean, for the most part, I think it was a great pay-per-view. Great build, great story, great matches for the most part. You know, there was a few things that I was just like, what the fuck? But it's like, it's WWE. So, I mean, you have to kind of expect that from Vince and crew. So, but nonetheless, it was a great pay-per-view, I think. What do you think, Albert?
If I have to be honest with you, I thought it was one of the better pay-per-views since SummerSlam, if not better than SummerSlam. You have a lot of things that are being set up to WrestleMania, of course, but a lot of things that have been going around throughout the year. And honestly, it was just awesome. I loved it. The Rumble was great. The Women's Rumble as well was phenomenal. I love how WWE is just trying to they're just trying to take it up a notch, not giving us exactly what we were expecting. Having Becky Lynch losing with Asuka and then re-enter the Rumble, I thought that was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a genius move with they kind of brought in the whole Lana situation from before with Shinsuke and Rusev and her falling down and kayfabe injuring her leg. And then they brought her in, you know, just in time. I feel like it was great, simple storytelling. I feel like they got it like 100% right there.
Honestly, I thought it was brilliant. All right, correct me if I'm wrong. I felt that Rumble was the closest thing. I don't know if it's because of like Becky. I don't know what it was, but to me, it reminded me of like a Royal Rumble from the Attitude Era. I know we can't always go back to the Attitude Era, but it just had that
feel. Kind of, it had that kind of like 2001 Royal Rumble feel.
Yes.
Like I feel like when Jeff Jarrett came out with Elias,
that was awesome.
I felt like it was like Drew Carey and Kane. Remember back in the day? You know, It was a great segment.
Yes. Okay, so what else happened on the Rumble?
Well,
Seth Rollins winning. Granted, everyone was expecting it, but I'm actually glad it happened. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it was a great choice of having a good match at WrestleMania, even though it was a little kind of like we kind of knew that Seth was going to win, but I feel like it was a great choice. I mean, no, I don't feel like anybody else on the roster, or at least on the Raw roster, has the potential to have a great match like that apart from Seth Rollins. I mean, I think Braun Strowman's a little bit too green, and I think Drew McIntyre has other things coming before he gets to the big one and faces Lesnar. So I think Seth Rollins was a perfect choice for this.
Yes. What were some other surprises that we didn't expect from the pay-per-view? What was some good curveballs? What other details did you like about this overall pay-per-view?
I did like that in both Rumbles they kept the legends away a little bit, and I like that.
Yes.
I like that a lot. They kept away from bringing all the women back for the women's Royal Rumble. They stuck to a lot of the NXT girls, which I think are doing phenomenal down in developmental, and they kept away from the legends for the men's Rumble. I mean, Jeff Jarrett was a great choice. He's still in great shape. He still used to wrestle in AAA in Mexico. So he can still run. Kurt Angle could still run. He's still running now. I think he can go another few years, but they didn't bring out anyone, crazy, and I like that. I think
Yeah.
they have a great developmental system, and I think that keeping away from these guys and just showcasing guys like Johnny Gargano, like Tommaso Ciampa, like Aleister Black. I think it was a great choice into keeping those things away.
Now, let's talk about one of the biggest highlights. Styles versus Bryan.
Well, Styles versus Bryan, I mean, it was expected to be a great match, and the way it ended was kind of like, I don't want to say I loved it, but I didn't hate it necessarily. I
No, I thought it was great, man.
I mean, I let me tell you why I didn't like it so much. I like it
Okay,
because I didn't like it because you have Rowan coming back, right? Let's say less than a year ago, you had the Bludgeon Brothers running through the tag team scene in SmackDown. Now, they were a great team together. Why would you split Rowan and Harper up, even though Rowan was the one that was injured? And I wonder what they're gonna do with Harper here. I mean, that's the only thing that was kind of like up in the air for me. It was like, why would they do this type of thing? I mean, I understand that Rowan isn't like the most charismatic character, and putting him with Bryan was a great move. But
I think so.
unless they have Harper join them or have some type of sway where Bray Wyatt comes back or something happens, I really wasn't too big fan of how it ended. Apart from that great match, I feel like they have great chemistry together. These guys are no strangers in the ring, and it had a great story and it paid off. Even though you have other people with better opportunities for the title, but in a big stage like the Royal Rumble, I think Bryan versus Styles was the way to go.
Honestly, I agree. I will say, though, I don't know. I love seeing Rowan come out at the end. I don't know why. I love the visual of those two teaming up. I love what they've been doing recently. And be real with you, we can get into how Daniel Bryan's heel turn is going just like... I think he's one of the best heels we've had in a long time. And Rowan joining him, especially at that particular moment, like... Even though everything that Bryan is doing, it's borderline, I don't know, like, he's just coming off as such a great villain. Like, just, I love it. I love it. Even though everything he's saying is great. So those two, I'm sorry to cut you off, but those two together, I don't know. I thought it was a perfect ending. If anything, I love the visual of it.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, they both have the look, the bearded, I care for the planet look, which is okay. And it kind of brings back the roots of when he was with the Wyatt family. It was kind of like the same thing. So I couldn't see him transitioning into this new role with Bryan. But I think down the line, if Bryan doesn't retain, I think this is going to become a tag team scene with either Wyatt coming back with Harper or something going on, I feel like this has a bigger picture in the end. I think after WrestleMania, we'll kind of figure out how exactly they're going to play this out.
Sure. If I would be honest with you, if they have like this whole little cult thing going on about they want to save the planet, or they'll probably spin it off as a cult, I want more people to join in. Be honest with you, I don't want to.
I think it's okay to add more people, but not too many people. We don't want this to become NWO all over again. Like I don't need need no too many planetarian people all together here, or for it to be too weird, because I don't need someone like AJ Styles joining, because I know he damn well doesn't give a fuck about no damn planet. I don't need to see Samoa Joe in this type of attire, because I know it's gonna be bullshit. Like, who is somebody I can see joining this? Ty Dillinger. I think some mid card guys would do great here. I feel like Ty Dillinger would be a good choice, or who else? I can't name off the top of my head, but I just feel like if they added, let's say, like 2 more people, I think it would be great. Not including Harper. Okay. I feel like Harper is a single star or a tag team. I don't need him to be joining stables with more than 2 people. Like this guy is a whiz in the ring.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Now, Seth winning the Royal Rumble. Now he's going to face Lesnar. What do you think is going to happen? What do you want the result of that whole thing. Like personally, I can bet. No, I was gonna say I could bet all of my money right now, but no, let's not do that. Because I could be wrong, but I really do think Seth is gonna win. I feel like he has to win with this overall narrative, with Lesnar trying to do his own thing, with Seth right now being the guy. He has to win. Now, I could see WWE pulling, trying to go down a different path. I can see them having Lesnar retain the title yet again, which to a degree I am okay with, because I don't like to have things that like I'm expecting, and I don't, a lot of people are throwing out rumors left and right, but man, I don't want to see. I don't know. I need like just a great result to that. Anyways, I'm rumbling on. What do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to take the title off of Lesnar finally. I think this is going to be the crowning moment for Seth Rollins to get in there and take the title away from Braun. I mean, not Braun, Brock. I'm sorry. I think this is the time. This has been stemming back to when, right after Roman Reigns' unfortunate, retirement or whatever it was. I think it was perfect timing. This has been stemming back since he was IC champion, saying that he's going to defend the title every week with the open challenges, and saying that Brock Lesnar is blah 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 blah. And I feel like they've kind of woven it little by little after Roman has been gone, and I think they have to keep it that way. And I think even when Roman comes back, I feel like they have to protect Steph as a character right now, because we all know what Roman Reigns is capable of. I think Roman Reigns needs to come back in a sense where he enters the feud with someone that's not necessarily up and coming, but someone unexpected. Like, I don't need him to come in feud with Bobby Lashley straight up, or with Finn Balor or anyone. But not necessarily like Jinder Mahal either, We've already seen that a million times. I feel like after the shakeup, we'll kind of see where they land with all of this. But going back to the original question, I think Seth is gonna win the big one here, and I think it's gonna be a nice feel good moment to end WrestleMania if they don't close with Ronda and Charlotte and Becky.
Which I think would be a terrible move.
But I don't necessarily think it's gonna be a bad move. They just gotta play it right, They gotta know what they're doing here.
Yeah, that's true. I won't lie. It would you just saying it. It's bringing a tear to my eyes. Like, I would love to see Seth win the Universal Championship.
I think it's what's right, and I think it's what we deserve as people who watch Raw and SmackDown regularly on a everyday basis.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
All right, talking about goosebumps, we're gonna jump into the Raw Women's title scene. Who's coming down the line with Becky and Ronda? And I mean, not Becky right now, because as we all know, she's suspended, and she won't be kayfabe quotes up won't be in the match. Well, she's gonna find her way in here, but
I think they're playing that very brilliantly.
I think they're trying to protect Ronda, and let me tell you why. Adding Charlotte to the match is going to make it a triple threat, right? With Ronda and Becky and Charlotte, I think they're gonna have Charlotte eat the pin and protect Ronda down the line, because I've heard rumors that Ronda might not be doing a full schedule after WrestleMania. I think she might be pulling a Brock Lesnar type of schedule, or maybe a more exclusive type of schedule where she can be home and she can be with her husband, or whatever it is that Ronda Rousey does outside of the ring. But I think they're gonna have Charlotte eat the pin, which is not something that we haven't seen before. We've seen Becky do it, not once but twice in the last few months. So I mean, so they're gonna protect her.
So you can see her. You see her retaining the title?
No, she's going to lose the title, and Becky's going to win the title, and I think that's what's going to happen. Okay. But I think they're going to not have Ronda lose. I think they're going to have her say, "Oh well, I'm gonna leave, blah blah blah." But when I come back, Becky, blah blah blah, and then they'll have something down at like SummerSlam or something.
Do you want Well, how long has she been champion right now?
Ronda?
Yeah.
I can't say. I think it's been a little bit because she faced. I think it was SummerSlam.
Oh, it was Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
No, Money in the Bank. Didn't she win?
Yeah,
I think she won the title.
Yeah,
Money
yeah,
in the
yeah,
Bank.
yeah. It was either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam that she beat Alexa Bliss for the title.
Do you think that she should at least have a year, like a year with the Raw Women's title, like being the one of the longest reigning champions, if not the longest?
No, I don't think so. I don't. No,
you don't think so?
I think that has to go to somebody else. I don't think that Ronda Rousey has enough time in the business to be having records yet. Look how long it took the New Day to become the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. You know, like I feel like that has to go to somebody that's been there a little bit longer. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that she's not great or is it that she's not talented enough. I just think that it's not her time yet. I think maybe after a few runs, maybe.
So what else is going on with the women's scene in the WWE? What's going on with Asuka, honestly?
Asuka's came. I don't know what they're doing with Asuka. Asuka's just in the air. They need to find something to do with Asuka. Asuka is gonna have no opponents. They basically pick the two greatest people they have on SmackDown for her, and they smacked her on Raw. So now who's gonna jump up and grab the brass ring? I don't know. Might it be Carmella? Maybe. I feel like Carmella is ready for the spot. And Naomi is a great champion, even though I know Naomi is now in that women's elimination chamber match. But apart from that, I mean, who else can really jump in and do it? Now, I think for WrestleMania, I think it might be one of those two. And I can't see anybody else doing it right now.
Me neither.
Talking about that.
Honestly, me neither.
Talking about that. I think they're kind of scraping down the roster a little bit too much for this women's elimination chamber and putting random tag teams together. I don't like it at all. I feel like this should have been something that was easy for them to do with Sasha and Bailey facing the likes of the Riot Squad and the Iconics. I feel like those are the only three tag teams that are ready to be tag teams. Everyone else is just like, what the fuck? Why are there 6 teams?
You also have Nia Jax
and Tamina.
You have Nia Jax and Tamina, and then who else is in there?
It was the Riot Squad. Tamina, Nia, Sasha and Bailey, Mandy Rose and what's her name? Yeah, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. There you go. And I feel like Sonya Deville could have been off better just being solo. I think this whole thing with Mandy Rose is just like I'm not feeling it.
Oh, hold up! You just gave me a great idea. What if Sonya Deville versus Asuka?
No.
Granted, there's no build up to it, but you don't think that'd be a good match?
Flat out, no.
Why?
No, I don't think Mandy's ready for that yet. I think Mandy still needs
No, not Mandy. Sonya Deville.
I don't think either of them are ready. I don't think they're ready for Asuka. I think they need to work a little bit more with some of the more veteran girls on the roster. I think if they would have done it smart and had Charlotte feud with Sonya and have Sonya win down the line, then I would have been like, yeah, hell yeah. But not right now. They have no momentum. And just putting them, let's say, in a battle royal to see who faces Asuka, I feel like that fucks up the value. I don't think that's what they need to do right now.
Now, to jump back to something we were talking about earlier, or to talk about Daniel Bryan just quickly, I want your quick thoughts. Since it has been a while since we've done the second episode, what are your thoughts on the new WWE Championship?
I feel like this is perfect. I feel like it was great. I don't know why. I feel like this is perfect.
It works
for him.
It just
works for him, and that's what needs to happen. He's a heel. Think of everyone else who had a custom championship. Remember when Cena brought out the spinning WWE championship? Or when Stone Cold Steve Austin had the Smoking Skull championship? That was iconic. I can remember John Cena also with the spinning US title. That was fucking awesome. You don't know how many times I asked my mom to buy me that at Target or Walmart or whatever big
I
stores.
wanted one.
Everyone wanted this thing, and I think it's sending a great message out to the kids. You got to remember that WWE is PG. And I think they're sending out a great message with a heel champion, and I think it's very original for them to let him do that, and it's 100% sustainable. And I'm pretty sure once he loses the title, they're gonna bring the old one back.
No, or at least, personally, what I would love to see is that someone strips the belt off of him, wants to undo everything he's done, and just kind of go back to the way things were, or just go into like a different direction. I feel like I'm talking about politics. Anyways, so I could see them dumping his title after some time and then just revealing a brand new belt.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about it, and I feel like if they do that, they might have Brian as a champion for a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
Can you see him being WWE champion forever?
No.
Forever.
No, not forever. No one could be champion forever.
Forever.
What is he, Bruno Sammartino or something?
No, because I remember he had said that.
He says that all the
in
time.
One of his promos, and I don't know. I kind of love the thought of it. Like I could see it.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be WWE champion forever. I can see him being a champion for a long time, maybe a year, maybe in a year and a half. No. But I would see. I can't see them keeping the title on him that long, just because. Let me tell you why. Yeah. After WrestleMania, whoever faces him at WrestleMania is bound to lose, because after that they're gonna do a superstar shakeup, and when they do the superstar shakeup, I'm pretty sure Finn Balor is gonna be moving to SmackDown. That's just my prediction. I think there's nothing more to do on Raw, and they're just wasting him on Raw. I think they're gonna move him to SmackDown and have him win the WWE Championship. I think that's what they're gonna do, because
I feel like he's a better fit in SmackDown.
Yeah, I feel like there's better build of guys there for Finn Balor to face. There's a little bit too much muscle on Raw. I feel like they have guys with like Drew McIntyre, bigger in size, bigger in other things. We have Braun Strowman, no homo. That huge guy. We have Brock Lesnar on Raw. Like we don't need that. We don't need Finn Balor on Raw. I need him to come on SmackDown, feud with Andrade Cien Almas, have him feud with Rey Mysterio, have him feud with Randy Orton, possibly feud with AJ Styles if he's not moved to Raw. I feel like these guys are just they're just dream matches waiting to happen, and I think Finn Balor to SmackDown is something they need to do.
Yes. Now, let's talk about what's happening across the pond. AEW. There's been a lot of new developments since the last time.
Dude, man, AEW is fucking killing it, man. Much.
Hold up. Espérate. Hold up. Listen, in 5 minutes, they sold out all of their tickets for Double or Nothing. 5 minutes.
I think it's great for them, and I think people are just really excited to see something new, something exciting for once. And I think that they did the right thing in waiting to announce that they signed Kenny Omega. And so,
yes.
not last minute, but, we were kind of expecting it from the jump. They made us wait till after the Royal Rumble and everything, I thought Kenny Omega was going to come out number 30.
Yeah. You know what? I love it. I love that we had to wait for a long time. I literally was looking at AEW news like every day on Google, on whatever website, because I wanted to know if Kenny Omega is going to be signed. Like, I was just anticipating every minute and second, and I love the build-up. I love the execution of the announcement. I love what they're trying to do. Him, Jericho, too. Like, oh my goodness. Like, my body isn't ready.
Hey, yo, bro.
Like, this is perfect. I'm genuinely excited. These guys have not had, well, if you want to count All In, but like they have not had one show, and yet they have more buzz on a weekly basis than a lot of WWE shows and events.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the start of something great here. I think that them signing up with AAA as well, even though they have a working relationship with Impact, I think this is going to be great for AEW, because they can use guys from from Mexico. A lot of people that haven't seen the Mexican scene. We might see even guys like Alberto El Patron in AEW, down the line. I think this is
Yes.
going to be great for Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks here.
Yes.
What I don't like, that everyone that's joining on, I mean, not everybody, but the main guys that are joining on are also taking managerial roles or office roles as executive producers, executive this, executive that. And I don't think that's right. I think that's going to implode down the line, even though they are great friends, but business is business. And I don't think Tony Khan is a guy to play too many games. I think when they have some beef down the line, this is not going to be good. Because these guys say they're friends forever, but who knows?
You're talking about how there's literally 4 vice presidents.
Yeah, like how you gonna have 4 vice presidents, bro? I feel like it's a little bit too much. I think it's a little bit too much, but I all the best for them, and I will be watching. I will be keeping up and hoping that they bring out some good stuff with some good tag team wrestling, some good women's wrestling. Even though I don't know any of their women roster.
Me neither.
I had no recognizable faces except for Brandy, and I don't know how she wrestles. So hopefully they impress us with their content, and maybe they can get a good TV deal down the line.
I think AEW is going to change the game. They're going to be learning from not only past mistakes from WWE, from WCW, but like Cody is going to learn from his dad. Cody has said a lot of times that he wants to take his dad's advice when it comes to booking and just pushing out promotion and just kind of like that old school wrestling type of mentality when it comes to AEW. So it's like old school mentality in a modern world. It's like if WWE stuck to their roots and just stripped out all the bells and whistles. Like the fact that they keep repeating wins and losses will matter.
Yeah.
Like they want to make this a legitimate sport, and I'm just so not that it's not, but they want to make it, I guess, in tune of MMA and all these things and boxing, and I love that idea. I love it because we need to legitimize wrestling.
WWE has kind of taken this win-loss shit and just throwing it out the window, and I think it's very necessary. You can't have jobbers just winning a battle royal and facing someone for a championship. I feel like this is bullshit.
Yes.
I think they need to get back to the wins and losses. AEW needs to do this with the wins and losses and have people kind of look at it and it's like, hey, this guy has won 5 matches, 6 matches. This guy deserves a shot at the title instead of just picking someone random all the time. You know what I mean?
I agree. I'm super excited on what's happening. I personally like the roster. I don't know a lot of those guys, but I'm looking forward to it. There's also relationships with OEW. In China, they keep talking about people like Jericho and Cody. They keep talking about these guys in China, how they're going to just revolutionize the game.
Yeah, man.
That it's like literally watching like wrestling mixed with Cirque du Soleil. So I'm super excited about all this. I literally, like, you have no idea. Every day I try to look up AEW news because I'm pumped. For the first time in a long time, I'm like, I love what WWE is doing with the industry, and especially when the WrestleMania comes along, I love it. But this is excitement on a whole nother level. Last but not least, the Revival. There were rumors they were asking for the release, and now they are Raw Tag Team Champions. What do you think about that?
I think what they did was they plead with Vince McMahon. They plead a case with Vince, and I think it's fair. I think the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships are both jokes right now, and I think the right step was to make the Revival champions. Now, you need to find a way to make the tag team scene better on both brands. We need to build these teams up, man. I mean, what do we have? Any legitimate teams? The Lucha House Party, they can go back to 205 Live. I really don't care for them. Who else? What other tag teams we have? Rude and Gable. I think they're they're a terrible team. I really don't care about disrespect for them, but I think Rude is a great main event wrestler, and they need to insert him that way. Either if it's on SmackDown or if it's on Raw, whatever. I think Rude is in his prime. Rude needs to fight for a championship, or at least contend with people that are fighting for a championship. What other team do they have on Raw? I mean, the Ascension is in an abyss of no coming back. That's it. I think it's over for them. There's no possible way. They've lost to every single team, every single person in WWE history, I think. And I think there's no coming back from that. I think they need to take these teams that are coming up from NXT now, like the Undisputed Era, and they need to throw them in there. They need to put the Authors of Pain to good use, finally. And I think they need to build this tag team scene better. I think they need to break up Sheamus and Cesaro. I think Cesaro is a great person to feud with anybody, with these up-and-coming guys. And Sheamus needs to either hang up the boots with his back injury or do something, because he cannot continue to bring this team down.
Okay. Well, bro, I hate to cut it shortly, but that's all the time that we have for today. Honestly, I'm really excited with what's going on just in wrestling in general. I'm really hyped for WrestleMania. I'm hyped for AEW. I'm hyped for what Impact is doing right now. Do you have any last final thoughts and say anything you want to say?
Dude, mark my words. I will be at WrestleMania this year.
Oh, man, yes.
I will be at WrestleMania this year. The tickets are kind of like expensive, $200 a pop. I'm paying $400. Yeah. I'm going to WrestleMania, and if you don't decide to come to New York and come see it with us, I mean, I'll send you a postcard. I will send you a postcard.
Yeah, you send me a Insta story. But anyways, bro, it was great talking to you. Guys, please subscribe. Please follow us. And yeah, we will be coming more often with more episodes. And just reach out to us. Let us know what you think. What do you want to hear? And anything else you want to add?
That is all.
All right, guys. Again, this has been AA Ringside Podcast. My name is Albert.
My name is Abraham. See ya.